testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
If you could state your name and spell your last name, please.
My name is Cheney Eng-Tow. Last name is spelled Echo November Golf hyphen Tango Oscar Whiskey.
Where do you work?
I work for the State of Utah Department of Public Safety Bureau of Forensic Services, but I'm assigned to the Intermountain West Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory.
How do we refer to that place in shorthand?
IWRCFL.
IWR. CFL.
IWR, yep.
And what do you do? Is it okay if I refer to it as the RCFL?
Absolutely.
Thank you. What do you do at the RCFL?
I'm a digital evidence laboratory technician there, and my primary role is to access data from Apple mobile devices.
Are you trained to perform cell phone downloads?
Yes.
What kind of programs do you use to do that work?
For Apple devices, we typically use a device known as Gray Key.
Are you certified to, well, I guess, do you need to be certified to use that program?
No.
Are you also familiar with Celebrate?
Yes.
Are you certified to use that program?
Yes, certain aspects of it, yes.
And what are your certifications in Celebrate?
Cellbrite Certified Operator and Cellbrite Certified Physical Analyst.
What is Celebrate?
Cellbrite's just software that can be used to download phones, and it can also be used to parse out extractions which are obtained from phones. So it puts the data in a readable format for people.
Did you receive a request from the Summit County Sheriff's Office to do extractions or downloads from cell phones?
Yes, they submitted 2 phones to the IWRCFL.
And were you able to complete downloads of those 2 phones?
Yes.
I want to talk first about the white iPhone 12 with the phone number ending 1987. Were you able to perform a download of this phone?
Yes.
And did you get a full file system acquisition from that phone?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's just the type of there are different levels of information you can get from a cell phone when you extract them. In this case, we were given the passcode to the phone by Summit County when they submitted it. If you know the passcode or are able to break the passcode of a phone, you will get what's known as a full file system, which is essentially all the data from the cell phone.
And so you were able to obtain the raw data from that phone,
Yes.
and it was put into a readable format.
Yes.
And was that information from that phone ending in 1987 given back to the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the same questions for the second phone. You said there were 2 phones. Did you able to complete a download from a green iPhone 11, phone number ending 9317?
Yes, I believe it was a 11 Pro Max, though.
11 Pro Max. And same question, you're able to perform a download for that phone?
Yes, we were given the passcode to that phone as well.
And did you similarly get a full file system acquisition?
Yes.
And was that raw data then put into a readable format?
Yes.
And was that information given back to the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay. Those are all my questions for you. Thank you.
Mr. Ramos.
Very briefly. Good morning.
Morning.
Could we geek out for just a little bit?
Sure.
All right. Could you just walk the jury through the process of how you use Great Key, what that gives you, in what format, what you then do with Celebrite, what you then get from Celebrite, what the format is, and then ultimately how it gets back to the Summit County Sheriff's Office. So basically everything you've just talked to, but break it down if that's
Sure.
okay.
Sure.
Perfect. Go ahead.
So essentially, we take the phone. Now in this case, as I mentioned, we knew the passcode. So we would verify that passcode worked. I would unlock the phone, and then you connect it to GrayKey, which looks like a little computer. It looks kind of like an Apple Mac Mini is what it kind of looks like. Through a combination of the hardware proprietary, which is what GrayKey is, hardware and software, it then accesses the data on the phone, and it gets an extraction, which in this case, as we mentioned, was a full file system extraction. That data is saved by GrayKey in the form of a zip file. Now, that zip file is not readable. You couldn't just connect it to any other computer and just open it up and look at it. So that data has to be parsed out, essentially.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you explain how the data would look if we were to open it up before putting it into the Celebrite system?
You couldn't really even open it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
it would not be accessible. You need forensic software to access it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So then we use a program which was previously mentioned called Cellbrite. Now in this case, we're using Cellbrite Physical Analyzer, which is just a Cellbrite software that takes this extraction. So you load the extraction in, and then it parses that data from the extraction into the various types of data that everybody would see on your cell phone today. So you would see it parses it out to the SMS, text messages, MMS, messages, emails, Word documents, pictures, videos. All the data is just put into a format that when you go into Physical Analyzer, you could say, I want to see all the texts that came from this particular phone number, and then you could read the texts that were sent. Once that information is parsed out, you then create a report. So it generates a report of all that data, and it creates something we call using a UFED reader, which is just part of Cellbrite. It's like a standalone reader that allows us to give all the data from this report, along with the reader, back to the agency that submitted to us. And they take it. It typically is put onto like a Blu-ray disc. It depends how big the phone is. It may be saved to a Blu-ray disc. It may be saved to a thumb drive or hard drive. But in any case, that detective would then take what we've given them. They would load it into their computer, open up this reader program. The reader then is populated by the data from the extraction, and then they can go through and look for text or pictures or videos or whatever information that they're looking for.
And that's when the analysis will come in. Is that
Yes.
correct? Or the review of that information.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You did mention that you had two. Would it be called certifications for Celebrite? I believe.
Yes. Could
you explain what those are and if they have any acronyms?
One is the Cellbrite Certified Operator, CCO. It's a certification that gives you familiarity and experience with using Cellbrite as a whole. And then CCPA, which is the Cellbrite Certified Physical Analyst, is using that Physical Analyzer program, which is what we use to parse that data out from those zip extractions.
And do you have any other certifications in Celebrite?
I have a certification with Cellbrite Premium.
And what is that?
Cellbrite Premium is kind of a competitor to GrayKey. It's used to access cell phones, mainly locked cell phones.
Perfect. With the CCO and the CCPA, those certifications, do you need to renew them at any point, or are they kind of lifelong?
Yeah, I mean, you do it once and
you're solid.
Yeah.
I imagine, because of the constant updates and technology in our phone, I imagine that Celebrite also updates. Is that fair?
Yes.
In terms of what they can extract?
Yeah, both Cellbrite and GrayKey
Perfect.
are updated constantly.
So I imagine because of that, you take additional classes or trainings. Would that be fair?
When and if I can, yes.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine you're quite busy.
Yes.
The last question I had is, you had mentioned, I put it in quotes, certain aspects that while using Celebrite, that you were certified to use certain aspects. Are there certain things that your 2 certifications maybe wouldn't cover, or that if anybody was in that analysis process would need something else?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Just one question, Judge. So you went through the process of how the raw data comes from the phone and then it's placed into a readable format. When that's taking place, is it correct that the data can't be manipulated in any way?
Yes. So when we get an extraction from Gray Key creates what is known as a hash value. You can think of a hash value as kind of like a digital fingerprint. So every file is unique. For instance, if I went into a Word and I created a file and I typed hello and then I saved that file, and then I ran a hash, I got a hash value from it, which is just a hash is just a mathematical algorithm that looks at the file and then it gives you a unique like fingerprint, which is basically a big long hexadecimal set of alphanumeric characters, but they're unique to that file. So in my example with this Word document, it would give me a value. Now if I opened that document again and I put a period after the O and then saved it, and then I would hash that file again, that hash value would be completely different. So the way we use that is, now that I have the hash value for the extractions that I got from these 2 cell phones, I copied those to staging media, which is essentially a forensically wiped hard drive. Once I copy it to that hard drive, I then hashed the extractions on that hard drive. Those values that I got should and did match the values that Gray Key gave me. So now I know my files on that hard drive are identical to what Gray Key pulled off. Mathematically, it's impossible for them to be different. That hard drive was then provided to an examiner in our laboratory who then processed the data. When he was done processing that data, he would then hash the extractions again at the end. If those extractions show the exact same hash value, we can then say we did not change those extraction, which is the data from the phone, at all. And we could say it's identical to what Gray Key got.
And that's what happened in this case?
Yes, and in this case, the hash values all matched as they should.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Ramos.
So it's kind of like a double-blind kind of validation process, correct?
If you want to refer to it that way,
Yeah,
sure.
just to make sure that everything's the same.
Yeah,
Now, because of that, because it can't be manipulated, or you verify that it can't be manipulated, there's no reason to do another extraction, correct?
correct.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Ms. Shermack, anything else for this witness?
No, Judge.
You can step down, sir. May we release this gentleman?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
You're free to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.